Hey guys, if you have plantar fasciitis, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you one of my favorite exercises today to improve mobility of the ankle to decrease plantar fascia pain. Now, improving range of motion in the ankle can happen a couple different ways. We're going to do open chain ones and closed chain ones. The body typically likes circles. This is one of our passive ways to do it. Keep in mind, if you do have ankle or foot pain, plantar fascial pain, then it might be something different. So you have to make sure that read the article I have in the description below, which goes over all over foot ankle types of conditions. You'll be blown away by the information in there. So foot ankle stuff or ankle circles, I like to start out in an open chain position right here. Open chain meaning the foot really is not in full contact with the ground. Obviously the heel's in contact, but it's not providing any loading mechanics, so it doesn't matter a ton. I'm going to kind of turn this way so you can see circles. So first off, realize that we're going to work with the ankle first because the muscles that come down into the foot, into the toes, actually have a lot to do with dispersing the load that is on the plantar fascia, making it scream out to you in pain. So I first start with just simple circles. Give about 10 circles one direction. And you're going to start to feel the muscles on the sides here burn. And actually, if you read some of the literature on plantar fascia, the peroneal muscles, the peroneus longus in particular, is a really important one to be able to rehab and strengthen and make sure it does its job. Then we'll go the other direction. What we found too is that a lot of people that have plantar fascial pain, they'll restrict movement in their ankles so it just freezes up. So a lot of the muscles become deconditioned around. Okay, up and down. Try to make it so the toes actually come up as well and point them at the bottom. If any of these produce pain, obviously you don't want to do a ton of them, but I like to consider dosage size on people. I don't necessarily like to keep them from doing all activity, just be mindful of what triggers them and what doesn't. So already I can feel this section of my calf or my shin start to light up and burn, and I feel the bottom part start to burn a little bit as well. There's actually a strong correlation with toe strength and the plantar fascia loading too much. That's mainly from the muscles in the bottom of the foot, which I do have stuff I'm going to go into, not in this video, but we have other videos coming soon. We actually have an ebook as well as a course, which is going to go all into the active part. These are passive care things, which will decrease pain locally and quickly, but they don't necessarily address the main problem moving forward. So closed chain now, so we have foot on ground. And I like to think of there's 3 points of contact here that we mainly got to focus on ideally in the beginning. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay? We want a full foot contact. Spread the toes as much as you can, actively, ideally. If you can't do it and you have no control of your toes, that's fine as well. So you can spread them actively like that. Some people like to use yoga toes and put them in the middle, or just stick their fingers in the middle too. Now, you want to stick those things to the ground really firm. And now we're just going to move the knee and the body over the rest. Now what we find a lot of times with people is that they tend to go like this. Or like you'll see one toe, I remember seeing someone this week like this, they just buckled that one and the rest of them kind of stayed like this, and we could not get her to load onto the pads of her toes for the life of her on the side which she had the pain at. So this is just practice of loading the pads of the toes, and we're going, again, we're moving the ankle, and you can see the foot moves in response to it. Then we're going to go the other way. Spend about 10 reps or so. I feel these things start to burn a little bit into my foot, which is kind of what we want, but we don't want to trigger any pain ideally. Then we can go side to side as well. Okay? So I feel these ones on the outside particular here as I start to go this way, which is not a bad thing again. And lastly, we can do toe scrunches. So think of like we're trying to move the ground here and pull it towards me. Okay? And what we're trying to limit is the amount of toes going into the ground. We call them hammer toes. All right? So we're trying to pull them into the ground and strengthen the middle part of the foot right here. And this is just one technique of doing it. Now, if that was helpful to you guys, again, we have a massive article on this that I spent a ton of time writing. It is on the link below. Feel free to send this to friends if you have any friends, running partners who actually are dealing with plantar fascia pain, because if you look at those forums like Runners Forums, Runner's World, and so on, and people they have this for years. It's frustrating. We get emails all the time from people who have this condition and don't know what to do about it. So we're trying to lay out a good foundation of exercises that people can get a lot of use from on YouTube here, but obviously there's a couple things that they're going to take a little bit more than a video. So that's why we're making the ebook as well as the course. We're going to go over all over what the plantar fascia is, how it loads, how to improve running mechanics, how to do toe strengthening exercises, and all that type of jazz. It's literally everything I wish I would have known in school about it, but we didn't learn until later. So if you like that, go to the link below. If you want to see another video on this, just there's one catered to you in the corner here. There is also an article, or sorry, a podcast that we have with it as well. Either one of those, they're catered exactly to the reason why you watch this video. And if you like it, go to those. Take care. I'm Dr. Sebastian Gonzalez. See ya.